What's up, good people? Back once again in the building. It's your boy, the Connoisseur Big U, with another episode of the Open Bar Sports Talk Edition, where, as you know, we give you the NBA from a New York Knicks fan's point of view. So what are we going to talk about tonight? We talk about the Knicks getting sunned. Come on, son. So tonight, the Knicks had a game versus the Phoenix Suns. Another one of the bottom rung teams in the NBA. They have a few more wins than we have, but it was a game on the schedule that I figured would be pretty competitive, or I worry that it wouldn't be because, like I said, the Knicks, this is an ongoing theme, so here we go. Maybe we'll zoom in when I say this. The Knicks aren't very good, so they tend to play to their competition. So against a team like the Lakers or the Clippers or Rockets or something, they will play up to their competition. And against a team like Orlando or the Suns, etc., they will play down to their competition. Oh, except for against the Bucks, who is the best team in the NBA right now. The Knicks could not play up to the Bucks. I didn't do a video after the Knicks' prior performance to the Milwaukee Bucks. Long story short, opened the book, Knicks got their ass whooped, closed the book, the end, and they lived happily ever after. So back to this ass whooping. In the Garden, the Knicks lose 121-98 to the Phoenix Suns. Now, this is one of those types of wins that irks me. Well, not wins for us, but wins for them. This is one of those losses that irks me and gets me tight because the Phoenix Suns are not good enough to be beating anybody's team by 23, 25, especially not in your house, especially not after you just come off from getting blown out by, a good team. This is a team that you come back against and you get all your frustrations out, like if the big bully on the yard come beat you up. So the next guy you see around your size that talks some shit, you're going to whoop his ass. So the Knicks was supposed to whoop the Suns' ass, didn't turn out that way. Maybe the Suns knew karate. Maybe they took MMA or something that the Knicks didn't foresee before they got into that confrontation. But all I know is by the end of the game, it looked like we were tapping out against the not very formidable Phoenix Suns. As always, Devin Booker. This guy's damn near unstoppable. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and then even in this game, Ricky Rubio. All these guys scored about 25 points apiece in the game. And when you have 75 points coming from three players, it is very, very hard for you to notch a victory against that team. We had Julius Randle leading the way with 26 points. Twin was back off of his hiatus where he had been out with the neck strain. He came back and he had 17 points and 3 rebounds, but this was only on 11 shots. And he usually, carries way more of the bulk of the shooting of the team. So maybe this is just because he has to get his feet wet and get himself back in game shape because he hasn't played in a little bit. Mitchell Robinson rounding out the Knicks top scoring with 12 points and 8 rebounds. As always, shooting a high percentage, but still not quite seeming to be able to find where, he's able to get that effective shooting inserted in to get more touches, more attempts, because he's shooting like 70% from the field. So I think if they could get him the ball more, run some pick and rolls, have him dive to the basket, but on a team where sometimes they don't look like they know what they're doing, as a big guy in this NBA, especially the guard-laden league, you are going to fall to the wayside, and it seems like a lot of the time Mitchell Robinson does, because he doesn't get into foul trouble like he did, which is good, but, in this NBA where big men are not featured, he's a big man, so he is not featured. Frank Money was not looking good this game, people. Frank Ntilikina is one of my favorites on the team, and lately prior to this game, he had been looking pretty solid. Seemed like he maybe had turned a corner when the when both Julius Randle and Marcus Morris were hurt, he even led the team in scoring. Was in my hot and not during that series of games. But now it seems that he's back to his old unconfident. The swagger's gone. The swagger that he had during the time that he was playing well. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if he needs to be featured. And with the alpha players back in the lineup, he doesn't kind of know how to fit his game in. But he needs to figure that out, because we do need that money. We need that old money. We need them small-faced Benjamins. We need Frank to get out there and do what he was doing back before Julius Randle and Morris were there. If he could play like that while they were both there, that will be a pretty formidable lineup. And I think it would give any team that we face trouble. So Frank Money, where you at, bruh? The Rook RJ Barrett had a scare tonight. Didn't have a great game. Was 2 for 8 from the field, but was very aggressive from the beginning to the time that he ended up coming out of the game with a ankle sprain. He drove to the basket in the third quarter, and looked like his leg gave out on him. A little weird when he was trying to go up for the shot. He fell, collapsed to the floor, and then, he was immediately taken out of the game and did not see any action for the rest of the night. I didn't hear any rumblings on, what the synopsis was. There was no, designation of any injury of sort. So hopefully it's just the ankle sprain and he'll be back soon. But if we get any information, I will pass that on to you guys. But Rook, keep on playing hard, man, and we hope that you get better soon. Okay, so let's get into the hot and the not of tonight's New York Knicks game. And tonight, the hot is the constant, Julius Randle, man. The Knicks have not played well these last couple games, getting blown out by the Milwaukee Bucks and then tonight by the Phoenix Suns, but he's been constant. Tonight he had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 40% from the three-point line. He took 5 threes, and I don't like him taking. I think he should take about 3 threes a game unless he's on fire, and but if he's going to take them, making them at a 40% clip is something that I can deal with. It was the same aggression on offense, the bull in the china shop mentality that I'd like to see him play with, getting into the lane, putting pressure on the defense, being very physical, and it worked out well for him. The only thing that I would say is that 6 rebounds, I need that to be a little bit higher, maybe at 10 or more, and I wouldn't have any complaints about the game. But Julius Randle had the hot performance of tonight's New York Knicks game. With the not performance of the night, I'm not going to go to a particular player or shooting performance like I do a lot of the time. I'm going to go with the Knicks' effort as a team tonight. The effort was not there. The Suns did better than the Knicks in all of the effort statistics. More rebounds, more fast break points, more steals, all of the hustle points. The Suns beat us in this game, and that's not acceptable for a team that is not laden with talent, that in order for us to be in most games, we're going to have to put forth a gargantuan effort. And tonight it seemed that the Knicks, they started out looking okay, because after the first quarter, we did have a small lead, but as soon as it got into that second quarter and going in throughout the rest of the game, the Suns showed that they locked in, and the Knicks had no answer. It seemed that they were a step slow on everything throughout the night. Defending, getting into their offense, all of their motions, everything was slow, and the Suns took advantage of that and kind of really put it to us. And that's why, we came up losing the way that we did to that caliber of team. So tonight, with the not player of the game, we're going to go with the New York Knicks effort. And it kind of was a throwback to how the Knicks were looking during a time where I wasn't really concerned with even watching their games. Because, if the teams are fighting, playing hard, like the Phoenix Suns are doing, like even the Golden State Warriors, who are not very good this season, as a fan, you can watch a game if it seems like they're out there laying it on the line for you. But on nights like tonight, when the performance is very lackluster, very listless, I kind of don't want to see it. And, I don't appreciate those types of performances. So I don't know what y'all got to do. It was Pride night tonight, and the Knicks played like they had no pride. So, get that fixed. And hopefully next game we can see a effort that is worthy of the fandom and, might turn out in a different outcome to the game. Now we're going to get into the new segment that I just came up with last show, and it's called Let's Talk About It. So this is where we get into, the rumors rumbling around or, late goings on around the team outside of just the game that just took place. And what we're going to talk about today is the Knicks' new signing to a two-way contract for Tony Wooten. Okay, Tony Wooten is a player that we saw in the summer league with the Knicks that had some pretty outstanding blocks and dunks, highlight plays that a lot of the fans took a liking to, that ended up signing with the New York Knicks G League team and playing there where he averaged 8.7 rebounds and about 3 blocks per game, which was good enough to earn him second in the G League in the block shot statistical category. Those statistics overall are not that impressive. The 8.7 rebounds or the 7.8 rebounds, again, like I said, once I get into this, the numbers start flying everywhere, so bear with me. But either which way, it was the 8.7 rebounds or 7.8 rebounds. Those are not numbers that blow you away. But I think what impressed the Knicks brass in the front office about those statistics was how he was getting them with the types of energy plays and athleticism that he was displaying. Well, you ain't got to take my word for it. Let's just take a look at a couple of his highlight plays.
Eyes on the switch. White going to take on Kaiser. Lobs it. Wooten.
Did you see that block?
Hall the other way. Wooten the offensive rebound. 6 points. Kenny Wootens.
As you can see, he is very active, very defensive minded, which is something that we're lacking right now. And at a game like tonight, where it seemed like the Suns were given free pass to go to the basket over and over and over again, even though Mitchell Robinson did play, maybe a player like Tony Wooten could have came off the bench and gave a spark that would have woke the team up, because it seemed like that's what they needed. So I think that the Knicks brass is hoping that on occasion, because he has a two-way contract, so he's still going to be playing with the Westchester Knicks, but he's going to have an opportunity to at times come up and play minutes with the New York Knickerbocker, the NBA team. So maybe he can come and give that energy that when the Knicks are looking really lackluster would get them to turn up and kind of, change the game around for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do, especially from those highlights. I like dunks, I like shot blocking, and that could be intimidation, which could work out good for the team. So welcome to the New York Knicks, Tony Wooten, the NBA side of the franchise anyway, because he was already on the G League team. And I hope that you do well, brother. Keep doing what you're doing down there. Bring that to the NBA. All right, now we're at the end, which is the opposite of the beginning, and that's why they call it the end. And where we usually end our episode is with Melo Time. Carmelo Anthony update. Last night, the Portland Trailblazers did have a game against the Houston Rockets. Yeah, the same Houston Rockets that did Melo dirty, let him play like 9 games and then traded him out of nowhere. And not even traded him, they just waived him out of nowhere, sending him into a early unforced retirement where people were unsure if he was ever going to get back to the NBA, where people started talking about why he didn't belong in the NBA, and kind of starting all of the the hate and the backlash that I had been trying to defend against Melo, defend Melo against for the beginning of this season, before he was hired again, and then even after he's been hired at Portland. So he had kind of a revenge game, and Portland came out on top, 117 to 110, even though the Houston Rockets do have the better record for the season. Melo got busy, as always, showing his professionalism and showing his proficiency as an NBA elite scorer. Scoring 17 points this game, shooting 7 of 10 from the field and 1 for 2 from the three-point line. And for all the statisticians or all the haters out there that claim that they aren't, everybody's a statistician when he's not doing well. When he's shooting 30% and Melo, his field goal percentage is terrible at 41%, and his 3-point percentage is at 29%. But when he does well, you know, nobody wants to give him the accolades, toot his horn, and toot his horn sounds kind of funny, so I don't know if I'm going to, but nobody wants to give him his praise, but I'll do that. He shot 70% from the field and shot 50% from the 3-point line, and, you know, you can't do much better than that in a win. And that was 17 points with 12 rebounds. So that's a double-double, you know, from a guy who, again, people were saying could not play well, could not give us 15 to 17, you know, points a night in any decent team against any decent competition because he didn't belong in the league anymore, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, as always, salute to you, Melo, and proving the haters wrong again, giving me something to talk about, something to celebrate. I didn't want to have to report bad news and then bad news. My Knicks, you know, had a little bad news, but my New Portland Knicker Blazers or whatever, it'll probably change every time I say it, but they did get a victory last night over a pretty decent team with Melo coming to play and, you know, doing his damn thing. So can't win them all, but 1 out of 2 ain't bad. All right, so thank you again for hanging out with me. Could have been doing something else, but you chose to be here. You chose to click on my video and watch the video, hang out with me for a little while. I appreciate that. As always, drinks, convo, laughs, bullshit, all of that is definitely on the house because we can. Many cannot. I will see you guys next episode. Until then, peace.